What up, what up, what up, what up, what up, y'all? What's good? Back again. Another day. It is going down in Yorktown, baby. And you know the deal. We are going live until we hit 500 subscribers. That's right. Every night we are going live until we hit that magic number of 500 subscribers. Now, after we hit 500 subscribers, I don't know what's going to happen. But what I do know is I'm probably not going to be going live every night. As much as I enjoy it, I love coming here, chopping it up with y'all, kicking it, spending time, whether it's a few minutes or it's hours. Sometimes we go 5, 6 hours. It just kind of depends. But I'm definitely going to take a break. I don't know what that's going to look like. The vlog is definitely going to be in full effect for sure. I don't know if I'm going to do a daily, every other day type live situation, or what I'm saying, a once a week live situation. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty confident that I will not be going live every day like this again. But in the meantime, we are here, and what I wanted to talk about tonight was the grind, man. I know there's a lot of criticism and a lot going on, people not respecting or feeling hustle culture. And people try to act like hustle culture is something new. And hustle culture, for those of you who don't know, let me get a standard definition. I don't want to um butcher what hustle culture is. Let's see. Hustle culture, let me see. Hustle culture, y'all, and I'm gonna share, I'm gonna do a presentation real quick. um Here we go. Hustle culture is when a workplace environment places an intense focus on productivity, ambition, and success with little regard for rest, self care, or any sense of work life balance. So, that is what hustle culture is. And what I've noticed is people try to act like hustle culture is something new, or hustle culture just popped up with what I'm saying, the advent of apps and the gig economy and all of that stuff. People try to act like hustle culture is something that is brand new. But the reality is, man, hustle culture has been around since jobs have been around, since apprenticeships have been around, which was before jobs. There has always been hustle culture. There's always people that are extremely ambitious, that are extremely focused on productivity and efficiency, that are extremely focused on grinding, 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 grinding. And the reality is, those people, and I was talking to one of my friends the other night, and, he was saying in the business world, you have sharks, you have killers, and then you have everybody else. Now, a shark may be willing to put in the work and grind, but sharks aren't really the same as killers. Killers are a totally different mindset. Like, to give you an example, there's a movie called Nightcrawler. I think it's still on Netflix. You might be able to watch it. And it's about this guy who was basically, what I'm saying, just trying to outwork everybody else. There's another movie that I know is on Netflix right now. It's called Netflix. I mean, it's called Whiplash. It's not called Netflix. The movie is called Whiplash, and it's about a guy that is working, that is a trained musician, and he performs with a jazz band, and the conductor of the jazz band is this really intense guy that is basically like, when they talk about work life balance and they're talking about the gig economy, not the gig economy, when they're talking about hustle culture, they're talking about him. Like, he is that person. Like, people were going off the edge and going crazy, like just trying to compete, because he drove a very, very tight ship. And what I'm saying, I think we as a society have gotten to the point where, you know, we focus on work life balance, and we focus on, trying to spend time and stuff. And what we don't understand is that is literally a modern luxury. Like that is something that only exists within the past 100 years. Like if you look at the early 1900s, the early 1800s, like, you know what I'm saying? Those are the reasons that these labor laws were created, because you had 5 and 6 year olds working at plants, you know what I'm saying, doing heavy lifting. You had 5 and 6 year olds working in the fields, like adults, you know what I'm saying? So I think that, let me see, we got my girl Tara in the building. What's going on, Tara? Yes, we are spoiled with that. We are very spoiled with that, man. We just, I think it's because um there's a saying that says luxuries once tasted becomes necessity. Like, you know what I'm saying? You got kids these days that don't go outside. They don't, you know, they don't understand what it's like to work. All they do is sit around and watch YouTube all day and play video games. Like they don't understand that there are kids as as my
That is true.
as my little one as my little one is back there playing Madden. I wasn't yeah, I forgot you were here, kid. But yeah, it's just totally different because if you look at, even, my dad is a baby boomer, which means he was born in the late 50s. And, he tells me stories about when he was 5 and 6, and his granddad had him out in the field working all day. Like my grandmother, his mom had 13 children, and all of them were born to help out with the family. Like after the first one, which, they got married at like 15 and 16 and they started early. So after the first one, everybody else was a helper. Like, the first one might be a mistake, or, whatever the case may be, because it's a little different. Times were different back then. Like I said, they were getting married at 13, 14. So, after the first one, everyone else is a helper. And the more kids you had, the more they helped, and the more loads that they lifted. Let me see. Tara said, "My father too. He was born in 1950. Oh, my dad was born in 58 too. Look at that." And he was very poor, and my grandma was the second wife, 14 kids. First wife, not. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like back then, it's the world is so different, man. It's like kids back then, they didn't have the luxury to just sit around and do nothing. Like they were getting hit upside the head with wooden spoons and switches, and we ain't even gonna talk about that. We just gonna talk about, the work thing. But it was totally different, the lifestyle. We got Latasha Lachey in here. She is a new subscriber to Yorktown. Shout out to her, man. I was looking at her content earlier, man. We gotta make sure y'all, Latasha, post your information. Tara, post your information here too. So when people look at the playback, they can subscribe to y'all, man. Latasha, we gotta work on that consistency, man. I see you be taking months off and stuff. Like we gotta work on that grind, man. But anyways, you know, the kids back then were totally different. Like I said, they were grown at 14, 15. So just imagine what they went through at 10. Like my other grandfather, well, my grandfather, he's still here with us. You know, he was saying that he finished school with a third grade education. And, I remember when I was young, I used to always tease him, like, just being ignorant, not knowing better. But, looking at today, I took a while off. I try and make a video like once a week. Yeah, man. I'm telling y'all, like when I finish, once I hit 500, I am not going live every night. Like it's been a minute. I need to sit down and see how many of these lives I did. But, I think I only missed one night because we were coming back from New Jersey and I was going to go live, but it was storming really bad. And I probably should have went live earlier that day, but I didn't. So I got to hold that L. But for the most part, ever since, I hit like 400. I've been going live every night, y'all. So, I definitely wouldn't encourage it or recommend it. You know what I'm saying? Consistency. Shout out to that. That is actually my word of the year, consistency.
Oh, right. I
So
forgot you said that the consistency would be over here.
That's what's up, man. My word, I don't do goals. I do words of the year. Just kind of themes of what I want to focus on. And I decided that my word of the year was going to be consistency. I wanted to be more consistent in everything that I do. Um, which is why I can confidently say I will not be going live every day after I hit 500. No. No, no, no. But that's another topic for another day. But yeah, my grandfather. So, I used to always, tease him because he only got a third grade education. But, I look and it's like, and I ain't gonna share that. That's a little too well, I'll share it, but I won't go into detail. So when my grandmother passed in November, um, we had to pay for, well, we didn't have to pay for anything. I get there. We were involved with the funeral process and making sure that everything was arranged and stuff. And people always say that one of the most expensive um costs that you'll have in your life are a house, your car, and your funeral when you die. So, we were at the funeral home getting everything ready for the actual funeral service and stuff. And as we were going over the packages and everything, everybody was just encouraging my grandfather to just, get what he wanted, because everybody was thinking that they were going to pitch in and help. But, when the time came and he dropped the bill, and I ain't going to say the number. Well, no, I'll say the number. Just so anybody that's dealing with death, y'all have an understanding. My grandmother's funeral, I give a range, was between $8,000 and $10,000, and so granddad was just like, let me go to the bank real quick. And he pulled out the money and like that, like nothing. And, it's just crazy because here I am. I went to school. I graduated from high school. I got my bachelor's degree. I got my master's degree. I've made decent money, and it's safe to say that we're doing okay. But it's like, if somebody asked me to pull out that kind of money today, like right now, hey, you got it. I don't. So, that's a testament to just how people grew up back then, because it's like, for him, and he, again, for as long as I've known him, I'm 32. So for as long as I've known my granddad, I've never seen him with a job, like anything. But he's always had money, and he's always had businesses. Like, he was selling used cars. He'd buy them for the low and would sell them, to turn a profit. And he also had a couple rental properties. Like, he was a hustler, but it was a legitimate business. And I never saw him with a job, but he was one of the people that I knew with the most money. And so it's like, people say you need all these degrees and you need all this stuff. And I am a strong proponent of education. I'm not saying don't get educated, just run around and be stupid. But what I'm saying is, a lot of those people from the older generation, they didn't have the opportunities that we had, and they were still able to carve out amazing lives. I don't either, but working towards that goal. Yeah, that's right. That's what we doing. Um, but he was able to do that with very little options, very little resources, just sheer hard work and effort. And that's why I'm saying, you can't ignore the grind. I watch a lot of YouTube, and I see a lot of think pieces and talking points where people are just saying, hustle culture is bad. It's not good for you. You shouldn't. And yeah, there's definitely a lot of negative aspects about hustle culture. That just is what it is. But at the same time, you have to have some level of drive. You have to have some level of ambition. You have to be able to work past your feelings or whatever you're going through in the moment. If you truly want to be successful and you truly want to build a nest egg in America, it just is what it is, because there's always somebody that's going to work harder than you. There's always somebody that's going to study more than you. There's always somebody that's going to be willing to put in the work. And if somebody has to pick between you and that person, more than likely they're going to pick that person because they know that that person is going to come through. So, I made this one today, honestly, because I woke up this morning and I went into a training. I'm in the process of getting my home inspector's license. Well, I have my home inspector's license, but I'm working on getting certified in the state of North Carolina. So the way that works is you get your you have to pass the national exam, but then you have to pass the state exam as well. So I already knocked out my national exam. Right now, I just have to work on my state exam. Um, so I was doing a training for that this morning. Came home, spent a little time with the kids, like literally a little bit of time with the kids. My wife went out the night, so I was able to put them to sleep. My oldest is still awake; he's back there on Madden. But my little ones, they're already knocked out. They're asleep, and you know, the only reason I'm on here talking to y'all right now is because I literally needed a break. But I'm sitting here. I'm also working on getting my OSHA 30, which is a construction certification. So now, mind you, like I said, I already have my college degree. I already have my MBA. So I have a bachelor's degree and I have an MBA. But still, that's not enough. You always have to be competitive. You always have to get more. So as we speak right now, I'm literally working on my OSHA 30, so I can have another certification. And it's like notebooks on notebooks on notebooks. And when I get off this video, I'm probably gonna go right back to studying because I need to hurry up and finish because I got some appointments coming up with some other people, and I know that the more I get this done, the more leverage I have as far as negotiating tactics and things like that. Um, I'm so glad you're speaking on this topic. Yeah, man. Here in Yorktown, we try to talk about relevant stuff, man. I mean, yeah, I'll talk about games or I'll talk about movies every now and then or, just frivolous stuff. But for the most part, man, I like to talk about career advancement and the economy and, things that are really important in ways that we can laugh and have fun about, man, because, if you turn on the news and you just let people talk, man, it's dry and boring and stuffy. And you know what I'm saying? They use big words that you can't really understand. It's like, you don't even have to do all that. That's not what people want, man. People want somebody that's relatable that they can understand and look and say, oh, well, if he's doing it, I could do it. So that's kind of how we get down here at Yorktown. Um, do you want to open your own construction firm? Yeah, that's definitely a part of the plan. I'm all about, I just told y'all about my grandfather. So, I'm all about ownership. But the thing about ownership, which, especially right now in this economy, there's a lot of overhead costs. There's a lot of risk involved. There's a lot of um, legwork that you just have to put in. So right now I'm working on building my foundation and learning from other companies and other people in the industry. Like Tuesday, I got a meeting with a developer, and we're going to have a conversation about some things. So, I'm working on it, but I'm not jumping all the way out there. And there's a lot of people that do, and they're very successful. And shout out to them. Right now, I just got too many responsibilities to assume that risk. And I may do a story time about the time that I did quit my career because I do have a bachelor's, and my bachelor's degree was in elementary education. I was a teacher. I taught for 4 years. And one day I just decided I'm going to quit my teaching job and get into real estate. And that's a story that, that's going to take more than about 5 or 10 minutes. So that's going to have to be an episode about what happened.
I thought you quit because you had me.
That's a long story, y'all. So, that I'm gonna have to break down and tell y'all like when I quit that doggone job and what happened. I mean, I think I had like a midlife crisis, but I wasn't in my midlife. I was 24. I was 24 and I said, you know what? I'm done. So, what I'm saying? Balance is key. Yeah, 100%. 100%. So yeah, just learning everything I can on my end, stacking up my credentials, practicing, doing everything, getting ready for when I do branch out. So I'm not starting from zero. I'll have key relationships in place. I'll have experience. I have references, the whole nine. So um that's the plan with that. But even with that, like I said, y'all, I'm not just saying things that I'm thinking. I'm telling y'all what I know firsthand. Like, you gotta work, man. It ain't no way around it. You gotta work. It's gonna be boring. Like I've literally been up here. Let me tell y'all. I can look because they track the hours. Um, I've literally been on here studying today. Um, Now, mind you, I had a training this morning that was from 9 o'clock to 2. So from 9 to 2, which means I woke up about 7 because the place was an hour away. So I woke up about 7, ate breakfast, helped get the kids together, got on the road, made it right at about 8:50. Um, Stayed from 9 to 2. It took an hour to get back home. So I got home, excuse me, 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock I got home. I got a little bit of time to spend with the kids. They go to bed around 6 o'clock. So from 3 o'clock to 6 o'clock, you got about 3 hours. So there was a 3 hour window where I was spending time with my little ones, getting them ready for bed. They go to bed. So now, mind you, at the time I was still studying. So I had my baby girl in my arm and I'm studying. And right now I'm at about 4 hours. Now, the way that this training thing works is they'll kick you off at 7.5 hours. So, at the end of the day, ultimately, I can only do 7.5 hours a day. I'm getting close to 4. It's 10 o'clock. If I try to stretch it, I may be able to get that last 3 hours in tonight and it'll roll over at 12. It's 10, 11, 12. Well, no, it'll start over at 12. So I could stretch it, but I'm probably not because I do need to sleep. I'm tired. But, I say all that to say, man, you got to I know it's an agenda against hustle culture, and people say you shouldn't work hard and work life balance and all of that, and it is very important. I am a very involved parent. I spend time with my children as much as I can, but I know what it's like to be homeless and to not have your own place to sleep on other people's couches and stuff like that. So I gotta get it. I gotta grind, y'all. So, okay, good, Tara. I'm glad you found your link. As a matter of fact, I could have did that. I'm sorry. Um, Let me share. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that. Y'all make sure y'all check out Tara's page. I need to go back and check you out as well. Um, Tara's page is so cool because she does shorts, and the shorts are about cool things like miniature train, locomotive fixtures. But she also does some talking on some really good topics. And she's so calm and chill on the channel. You gotta check it out. Oh man, I see you done jumped up to 104. Shout out to Tara, man. You growing. I love it. I love to see it. Um, I gotta watch this when the comedian is correct. I know that's probably gonna be funny. Um, Turn it off. I gotta see what's going on with that because if it's what I think it's about, then I know it's about to be a banger. Um, it did, it did. It took me forever. So that's this right here is Tara's URL. If you search in YouTube. I'm talking about U-Haul. If you search in YouTube, all you gotta do is type in the name and it'll pop up. But yeah, it did go up very quick. Like it took me a while to get to 100. Like I ain't even gonna lie. Like it took me a while to get to 100. Um, it took me a minute to get to 100. A while. Um, so I'm definitely happy to see your channel growing and moving at the pace that it is, because it really took me a minute to get my first 100, and you know, it's rough, man. It's definitely a grind. A lot of people get on YouTube and they think it's gonna be easy, and it's just something simple, and it's YouTube is a lot of work. You put in a lot of freaking work for YouTube. It's not, you know, I know a lot of people think it's passive income and all of that. It's not at all. YouTube definitely requires a lot of work, a lot of effort. I'm striving for 500 like you, so I don't need to be. Yeah, that's the biggest thing, man. Consistency and research. Research and networking for sure, reaching out to a lot of like-minded people. Like, a lot of my subscribers came from, other people's channels, just being supportive and showing love and stuff. So, what you're doing, Tara, your channel is going to blow up way faster than mine. Like, and anything I can do to help, let me post that link again. Anything I can do to help, I'm here, man. I've done made every mistake in this YouTube thing. I still make mistakes every day. I'm still learning. Obviously, I'm adjusting my thumbnails. I'm working on stuff, man. It's definitely a process. YouTube ain't for lazy people who think they just gonna come up here and they just gonna have one viral video and they gonna blow up overnight. That's not how it works. Now, of course, you have some outliers that get lucky and their one video pops off, but the thing is, it's about consistency. Um, yeah, you can have one video that goes good. I mean, I got a couple videos that actually did pretty good. Like I got one video with like almost 10,000 views. I got another one with right at 3, and I got one at 2. So, I've had pretty high ranking videos, but then it's like, you got to figure out if that's the kind of content that you want to make all the time. Like, it's a lot that goes into really developing and growing a channel. And then, right now, the way that YouTube is, it's not even really about your subscribers like that. Now, yes, your subscribers matter. I'm not saying you shouldn't want more subscribers, but what I'm saying is, YouTube now is more driven on um communities and engagement. Oh, today is my channel's birthday. Shout out to that. Happy birthday, YouTube. Hey, today is my channel's birthday. I didn't even know that. But yeah, YouTube now is more so focused on building communities and having high engagement more so than just having a bunch of subscribers. Because if you have a bunch of subscribers but they're not engaged, they're not consistent, they don't comment on your stuff or support you, then it kind of doesn't really matter, because they can't really monetize it. So YouTube is focusing on people that have high engagement, people that interact with their subscribers and things like that. So I would say definitely start there. Like, I would take 5 Taras over 1,000 subscribers any day, because if I have 5 Taras that's gonna come over here and we gonna talk and laugh and have a good time, that right there is what matters. You got a whole bunch of subscribers that don't support you, that don't like on your stuff and don't comment, then it looks good and it's bragging rights, but it's not anything that you can it's not tangible. It's like having a nice car with no gas. It looks good, but it ain't going nowhere. So, I would definitely say, if it's one thing that I learned, focus on building a community and focus on engaging more rather than just trying to run up subscribers. I just want a small group of people striving for a successful future. Right. That's what it's about, man. Cause, subscribers come and go. One day your channel could blow up and the next day your subscribers are gone. But if you have meaningful relationships with people that you can just talk to and connect with, that'll take you way further than having a bunch of subscribers. But y'all, we creeping up on 30 minutes. Like I said, I got to get back to studying. So let me tell you about this. I'm gonna run my mouth for a little bit more. I'm gonna tell you about this OSHA 30 thing, and then I'm gonna go ahead on and get back to work. So basically, the way that I did it is it's a computer based education course. So it's 81 chapters, and each chapter has about 5 or 6 sub chapters. So if you look at my notebook, it's tabbed off for each chapter. And yeah, so I am currently on chapter 59 out of 81. And it's so funny because when I got laid off, I was like, I'm gonna knock out this OSHA thing and I'm gonna do it in a month because I don't have nothing but time. So I don't have no excuses. And I just thought I was gonna breeze through this thing in a month. But what I found out, which is why I started taking notes, is you're only allowed to fail 2. And if you fail two, then you have to start over all the way from the beginning and you got to pay again. And it's like $500. So I was like, yeah, I'm not doing that. So I started taking these notes. Yeah, I started taking these notes because I don't like to leave things to memory because your brain is limitless. Don't get it twisted. But what you can actually remember is very finite because you just have so much stuff going on in the background of your brain that keeping track of what's in your front of the brain is very hard to do. Which is why people that forget stuff all the time, like me, I take a lot of notes. So that's how I ended up with all of these chapters and different notes. Like I said, I'm on 59 right now, which means my goal, if I get to 60 tonight, I think I could go to sleep peacefully because that'll leave me with um oh, my math is off. What's that? 11, 21, 21. That'll leave me with 21 more chapters to go. My goal is to finish by Tuesday. And I said I'd be done in a month, but right now we're creeping up on 2 months. And they give you 6 months to do it. So if I finish in 3 months, that means I did it in half the time. So I'll still be proud. 1 month was crazy. I don't know. I definitely overestimated myself on that. Now, granted, to be fair, my grandmother died within that time period, and a whole bunch of other stuff happened. But no excuses. I just did not finish in a month. So, anyways, I'm about to go back to studying. I just wanted to chop it up with y'all. We'll be right back tomorrow. So I'll holler at you, and we go on every day until we hit 500. So make sure you hit that like button. Make sure that you subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.
Making